Well, next on the agenda is an educational session from someone who's got a lot of energy, a lot of enthusiasm, and power. He is highly combustible. He is our own Vin Diesel. All he needs is a stage and a mic. The one and only Toastmaster Sami El Herbawi. He will be doing an education session on how to inject humor in a dose. Thank you so much. Over to you, Toastmaster Sami. Vin Diesel is busy.
Excuse me, someone called my name.
Yes, I call for Vin Diesel. Who are you?
Ah, sorry. Excuse me. I believe we're here to crack some jokes or to learn how to crack them or something of that sort, right? I needed to take a nap so that I can, take us through this exciting journey. But I'm not sure. Are you guys ready or not? Now don't shout in your neighborhood because you are muted. So no matter how loud you shout, I can't hear you. But you gotta be prepared for this, because when we're talking about making your audience laugh, it's the greatest blessing that you can grant your audience. It plays like magic. Even you talk nonsense, people like you. And if you are a politician, people vote for you. See how we all voted for President Khalid. That doesn't mean he's not the best leader we have, but his humor last year works big time. The trophy brings the position, mark my words. Fellow Toastmasters, we have in the next few minutes a quick journey on understanding this crack the humor statements. How can we crack it right? We always wanted to solve this puzzle. How many of you believe humor is a puzzle that needs to be solved? No one believes so. Not even if you want to steal my sentence, I allow you to do so that you don't embarrass me in public. But let me tell you something. Humor is actually a science-based business. It does not come by luck. It comes from a deep understanding of human psychology. And today, we're going to crack it in the right way. And to start with, I demand to be granted all the resources that I need, and among which I need to be having my right as a member of this club to be able to share my screen. Ladies and gentlemen, if you don't knowledge, you see, sometimes drama helps a lot to get you what you want. You can always cry over what you want and your audience will listen. You don't always have to make them laugh. Who said that? As long as you can make yourself audible enough to get what you want, even your tears can help a lot. The ladies will tell you more about it. All right, we're trying to crack today. How do we crack it right? And if you want today to, I think I will have 20 minutes from this moment, and then I will have Q&A session. Timer, please time me as 40 minutes, 45 and 50. Yeah, I mean, whatever. You manage the time the way you want, and I'll manage it. I read it the way I want. To crack the humor right, we want to share with you today what humor is not. So I want you to pay full attention to this. What humor is not. Humorous speech, when you deliver a humorous speech, be it in an occasion, a formal occasion or informal occasion, it's not a funny event that happened to you. Keep that in mind. It's not a one-liner joke. It's not a conversational talk between two people that dragged into some unexpected results. It's not funny drama of life. It's not funny details of childhood or life. It's not mocking someone like your husband, wife, parent, boss. It's not that. And for sure, it's not sharing an embarrassing story that you lived or embarrassing event that you've been through. Now, looking at Senelia's face, I can clearly see she's surprised. What? If it's not all that, then what it is? Well, that's what I need to find out. But let's find out together. I want volunteers here. Volunteers. Any who wants to volunteer? Give me a name. Unmute yourself, of course, and tell me your name.
Yeah, I am a bit.
Okay, you have 30 minutes to describe to us what you see in front of you. Go ahead.
Yeah, I see like 4 people, one one with the McDonald's cover in the head, one with a bottle in the head, another one with some bucket in the head, and fourth one with a mask.
Fantastic. Now I want a second volunteer. Who will go next to him? Give me a name.
I'll go, Ruby.
All right, now you need to describe the screen in front of you without giving any information about what you can see. Go ahead.
So I can see 4 people.
That's information. You should describe it without giving any information.
How do I do that? I have no idea how to do that.
Now that exactly our point today. Who wants to give it a try? Who would like to describe the screen without giving any details? Come on. But whoever will start, have 1 minute to or 30 seconds to crack it very effectively. Who wants to give it a try?
Chetna, should I give it a try?
Go ahead, please. No information. Describe what you see in front of you.
Okay, I would just give it a try. I see a McDonald's launching even bigger burger, which is going out of the bag.
But that's not true because McDonald's is not launching anything. And this photo doesn't show that McDonald's is launching. Am I right? It's not showing. You're just talking about something of your own dream imagination.
Okay.
Now, ladies and gentlemen, the only way you can describe this in a the logical way is to describe what you see. And that's what you all fall into this. To get this humor level to the next level, imagine you are describing the idea. Imagine you are describing the feeling. Imagine you are describing the aroma of this world. Where are we heading? So if you started this statement to describe what you see in front of you by saying, the world has discovered a new benefits of fruits. The basket, which used to contain my laundry, today I have multiple purposes for it. And my empty water cans are never thrown. I can always make a use out of them. And what happened here? If you cannot afford McDonald's, you can always sniff the smell of the aroma. It lasts for a lifetime. So what did I do here? I described the reflection of the image, the feeling, the senses, the values, the idea behind it. And that is where humor lies, ladies and gentlemen. And why is that? Very simple. Because we need to understand that in our life, we have a style of speaking that is so casual, so normal, does not determine any seriousness. And there is a style that has a start and an end, a formal, an action point called speaking. And whenever we are trying to test our humor, we always fall into using the humor in the talking style, talking about it normally. But the best humor is the one that is structured in a formal style. But before you structure it in a formal style, the magic, when you understand that in communication, you have logical brain and you have emotional brain. All of you were falling into the traps of the logical brain. The logical brain that describes what you see, not what you feel. What you can, all of you agree on, not what you only saw and others did not see. The logical brain, the logical communication, it make you, even when you want to crack a joke, you always seek people's approval. You don't sell it to them. And today we are going to go through this wonderful life of how can I speak emotionally, awaken the feelings, awaken the emotions, and then crack my jokes accordingly. So your joke has to beat the logical thinking of the audience by a punch line, which we will explain now. So Before we get into this, I want these foundations to be laid in our mind. Every time we are communicating as Toastmasters or as human beings, we always have 4 objectives to cover: entertain, inform, persuade, and inspire. When we entertain, we think we are making audience laugh. Please correct it. No, 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 no. I'll bring that surprise cat back to you, because if I make you cry, I still entertained you because I touch your emotions. When was the last time you've been to a restaurant and no one entertained you? Did you laugh? If someone entertained you in a restaurant, did you laugh? No, you felt respected because someone entertained you. And if no one addressed you, you feel angry. Anything that triggers emotion is entertained. And anything that triggers logic is information. And anything that triggers opinion is persuading. And anything that triggers hope is inspiring. When you are cracking your humorous speech, remember to cover the 4 areas. In entertain, in inform, in persuade, and inspire, there is a huge room for humor. And the biggest mistake biggest trap we all fall into, we think humorous is only lies in the entertaining part. But if I'm taking an information, I'm going with the wrong information, exaggerating it, speaking about it with full confidence, that will make you laugh. And if I'm persuading you to quit your job and just leave it, become single the rest of your life, just like someone I can see in my screen, that also might make you laugh. And if I will inspire you to be whatever your wife doesn't want you to be, that would make you laugh. So there was a main purpose of your message, and there is always a way to make that main purpose funny. So how does it all work? When you understand that humorous speech is all about exaggerated events, that's it. It's not funny. It's not embarrassing. It's an exaggerated event. You need to stretch it a little bit, exaggerate in the characters. Self-critics, yes. Sarcasm, yes, but respectful. So when you are entertaining and sharing emotions, you want to exaggerate that emotions. When you're sharing information, you want to exaggerate that information. When you're sharing opinion, you want to give a very unusual opinion that doesn't resonate in anyone's logical mind. And when you share an hope or inspiring, you want to go beyond the norms. You want to crack the logical brain. And here is what it's all about. By the words of Michael Jr. himself, humor is that whenever you see a photo, you hear a statement, or you remember an event, something which contains a setup and a punchline cracked in your mind at the same time. The setup is when you hear the speaker or the speaker try to use his talent and resources to drag the audience into one direction place without the audience expecting. Now, I want you to pay attention to this statement very clearly. If while you are writing or cracking your setup, you reveal to your audience where is the direction going to be, and then you did not manage to surprise them with the punchline, it will not make the effect you want. And today we are going to speak, how can you set your or lay your setup right to create that feeling of fulfillment, joy, and crack that joke? How can you lay this setup right and create that punchline in a style? Mark the words of Michael Jr. First, the pillars of any humorous statement, ladies and gentlemen, lies into 3 points. Now let's keep it serious, okay? Let's just keep it serious. Main topic statement. For example, I love to go to the gym. That's a statement. Now, if I say I love to go to the gym, I can still say I love to go to the gym and support it with additional lines. It keeps me healthy. It allows me to be fit, and it makes me live longer. Normal statement supports the statement of I love to go to the gym. My closing statement can be, and if I would advise any of you, I would advise you to go to the gym. Normal statement completed. I have a main topic, I have supporting topic, I have a closing topic. Now, why is not making you laugh? Because it's only talking to your logical brain. There is no element of surprise. I took you from the same direction and we went all in the same logical direction. The minute I say, I love going to the gym, it makes me healthy, makes me fit, and allow me to expose my options before I get married. Now, you see another angle of my personality. And if I would advise all single men that I know, I would certainly not direct them to the gym what I go for. I hate competition. Now, my closing line was somehow related to the statement. I advise single men to go to the gym, but definitely I will not advise them to go to the same gym where I am because I hate competition. So we will talk about these pillars, and I want you to keep attention to these pillars because whenever you're writing a statement, you have many ways to write it. While you're writing any speech, don't worry about writing the full speech. Aim for writing one paragraph that is funny, just one paragraph at a time. So who wants to give it a try? Who wants to give a statement, supported with a statement, and then have a closing statement that's somehow related to the topic indirectly? Who wants to give it a try? Timer, just remind me when there's 5 minutes left, okay? Because I'm not seeing your timing mechanism anywhere. And you guys are muted. Anyone wants to try this? Unmute yourself and go ahead. If anyone wants to give it a try. Any topic statement that will lay the foundation, where are you going? I love Khalid for being our club president. That's a statement. Now, in your logical brain, why would I love him? Right? I need to support that statement. Now, if I want to make it funny, I can always apply the rule of three. The rule of three, where I lay down 3 points to support my main point, but I crack the logical flow in the third one. I love Khalid for being our club president. He is such a presentable leader. His voice commands respect, and he's not as handsome as I am, so I feel no competition whatsoever. So that's the third point that cracked your unexpected answer. Now, I'm not afraid of this year, but I just need to make sure he's not. The next president is as handsome as he is. Now, what did I do? The closing statement was a continuation to my laughter, my sarcasm statement, but it was not away from the topic. It was still still around him being handsome, but not as handsome as I am. And I'm not concerned about this year. I just need to make sure the next president is as handsome as he. So again, it's indirectly, I'm saying that I want to be more handsome than the next president as well. But everything I'm describing on the joke, you guys got it in a span of a second, because that's how amazing our emotional brain is. You get the picture that is drawn in front of you. And that rule can always make a difference. But remember, use this rule and have the closing statement, because the closing statement is what will make a second laugh in the same paragraph. You can always crack a laugh with the rule of three when you make the third one break the norm. But the best part, oh, I've become an admin, Abdul Sattar. I've just admitted you, Abdul Sattar. Welcome back. So you can always crack the joke with the closing line. Remember, the closing statement should be somehow related to the topic, not far away from it, so that the audience can link the ideas together. Now, whenever you are setting your background, this is your setup. Your setup is your background. And at this point in time, ladies and gentlemen, funny or not, it's because your logical brain plays tricks against you. The first trick you want to be aware of, your logical brain try to come up in your sound. So for example, as you all know, this swing is a logical brain. So what I did, I wanted to have a cup of water. So what do? You see how my language goes into a logical statement. So I went to the kitchen and I opened the fridge. I looked in the fridge. I was looking for water. So every event has got a sequence, logical sound. The logical sound kill the surprise. Who wants to give it a try? I was thirsty. I walked straight to the kitchen, opened the fridge, look at it with a smile in my face. So what happened? I keep my voice loud and high, exactly how Sinelia did it today. Effective, high, very strong, aggressive or assertive sound. Be aware when you are driving your voice tone towards assertiveness more than logical. Pay attention when you swing like ne, ne, ne in the statement. Filters such as actually, really. Well, what happened exactly is, what happened is this. Then after that, avoid these logical statements. So you say, Sami, how can I do it? Just write down a speech and take out these logical words out of it. You realize that you have a statement that makes so assertive and makes the setup perfectly. These 4 tips are going to make all the magic for you. Avoid saying that you are going to speak about something. Just go with the flow. Remember that your logical brain make you think of the audience brain, so you assume what they know, so therefore you don't elaborate. Very big mistake. Always elaborate in the characters. Assume that the audience have no idea whatsoever. Despite of the photo about Corona, assume that audience don't know. Avoid saying what you are going to speak about. And that's all. When you are laying down your setup, when you are writing down your setup, when you're speaking about your setup, speak like your audience are totally new to the subject. And what happened here? When you are writing down your topic, you want to remember that you aim to create a common background that will hook your audience. So you want to go in the details of the characters. You want to describe how they feel, how they behave, and try to avoid the language of the past. Instead of saying, when I was a child, my family named me, and then my grandma did, instead of saying that, you can always say, the lady in front of you now has one day been a small child. You don't want to see her grandma on that day. She was controlling the whole show. She wanted to name her the way she wanted. And then you start to describe the events in your history as if you are living it today. So when you set the background. When you write your speech, write it as if we are watching it, as if you're showing us what's happening. Now, in Cinelia's, for example, story, there was her grandma, there was Herma, there was so many role players or so many characters. Describing these characters of who they are, what's their mode, what's their character is all about, can help us live in the details. But your logical brain says, no, nobody's interested to know the details of your grandma. Nobody's interested to know the details of your ma. You just keep the talk about your name only. But what happened is that the more you describe the characters in details, the more you set their vision clear in our mind, the more we can imagine how her facial reaction would be, how she was controlling the scene, and then it will relate and resonate into your. They're running out of time as usual, but the point here is improves in this life without practice. And your magic, when you want to crack a humorous speech, lay in the magic of writing your background, your setup. Help your audience envision, imagine, feel. Now with this, I want to give a chance for one more role player, one more person. Who wants to go for it? One more person only. I want you to prepare for just 1 minute. Who wants to give it a try? Give me, come on, volunteer. Hala, you want to give it a try?
Okay, I guess I could try.
All right, here, your task is, the minute you see the picture, you need to describe for 1 minute what all that you can see. But even if you cannot see something, describe how you feel about it. Are you ready?
Okay, yeah.
All right, go for it.
Okay.
Now, do you see the challenge you're facing? Your logical brain is taking control. Because the logic allows you to think only within the frame of the photo. Who wants to give it a try and go beyond and above? Go ahead. Go ahead, please.
Man number 1 is in love with girl number 2, but he is so shy that he's wearing a packet over his head so that when he looks at her, he can only see her. But she has eyes only for the plastic square next to me.
Can I stop you? Can you
Yes.
describe it again without linking to the photo? Exactly what you said. Like, for example, go with this: a love story between a man and a lady. So the story that you're saying is not related directly to the photo, but it's describing the photo. This is the thin blue line where the humor lies. And the audience are linking what you say to the photo content. Man is so embarrassed. He doesn't want to get married. He's even hiding inside a plastic box. So what happened here? You're describing something as if it's not related to the photo, but the audience are connecting the dots and seeing the punchline.
Okay.
Go ahead.
There was a love triangle. 2 women and 1 man. The 1 man was there but invisible, and he so wanted to be noticed, but nobody even saw him. The 1 lady was so shy she could not say a word. But there was 1 girl who was staring to the guy with the most beautiful eyes.
Now let me stop you, because you went too far without the closing line. So let me help you with this. A love story between 2 beautiful women who were hunting 1 man and ignoring the other.
Yes.
Because you missed the 3rd character. So when I do that, what I did here, I described the scene and I had a landing for it. I need a closing statement. So I need to have the statement starting from a moment and closing in a certain moment. Now, without taking further time, this is my session for today. Thank you very much for being an awesome audience. I wish to see you on the top of your humor skill in the future, and I look forward for watching your speeches in the future. And I open the floor for questions and answers if I know the answers, of course.
Thank you, Sami. That was amazing. I joined this club to learn humor. It's the most difficult thing on earth. I can fix a child. I can do a lot of stuff. I cannot be humorous. Oh my gosh, it's so hard.
No, it's just a chemical reaction between words. We will experiment it together. Any questions?
Yeah, I have one question. So, Sami, is it like to be funny, you have to be illogical?
Okay, a very good question. It's not about illogical. It's how can I take you into a direction and then surprise you with the turn unexpected? Because remember, when let's say I'm trying to convince you to go for a 3 days fasting. All right. I want to convince you to to follow a strict diet. It's going to be very rough for you to listen to me because I'm asking you to break your normal habits. But if I make you laugh so that you like me, and then I give you decent information that you make you respect me, my effort to persuade you to listen to me becomes easier. So I don't need to go and say, exaggerate, illogical about fasting or illogical about diet. I just need to give it a tip, make you laugh, then come back to the serious logical talk. Now there is a science behind it because our brain, our logical brain, respond faster than, the emotional brain respond faster than the logical brain. So whenever if someone is calling you as a customer service, the first thing you do as a sales call from a bank, you never say, hello, I'm not interested by. No, you always say, yes, is this Khalid? Yes, it's Khalid. And he says, my name is Sami, I'm from DIB Bank. What is it about? You are going to have at least 5 to 10 seconds of talk, right? Why can't you say, sorry, I'm not interested by? No, because we, as a logical brain, you take time before you make a decision. But in your heart, you know, again, another credit card selling me a card, another bank selling me a credit card. So in a humorous, your first 10 seconds is how you create the connection, is how you make the illogical side, and then you move to the logical side. But if your objective is only to make the audience laugh, then yes. Like a tall tale. A tall tale has no room for logic, but it has to be a balanced, illogical statements that looks like logic. Like me fighting a tiger. Okay, I can fight the tiger and I can explain it in details, but I still cannot say that I fought the tiger, I was having a gun and I shot him in a bullet, because that's logical. So what's the big deal? It only become exaggerated if I fought the tiger with my bare hands. If I only punched him in the face. If I got my hand stuck in his teeth. That only becomes the exaggerated part. That's illogical part. So from tall tale, which takes long time, long, extreme, unusual, humorous, illogical statement, up to the humorous, which has 50-50, down to the serious motivation that needs to have an element of 40%. For example, if you are a very, very, very interesting speaker and you did a humorous speech in international, you lose, because you have to have an international speech which is motivational, not humorous. So it's all about maintaining the balance.
On the same line, I have a question. Can I go
Please.
ahead?
Yes, please, if the time permits, yes.
Yeah, since like humor, we talk about, you just said in an international, if your story is maybe it's a little sad or emotional, and you want to add a touch of humor to that, how can you make the transition smooth?
This is like an experiment. You're absolutely, you need to do that, because if you remember, Muhammad Qahtani made us laugh, made us laugh, made us laugh, made us laugh, and then he made us cry.
Absolutely.
But remember, if you want your audience to cry, let that be towards the last 30 seconds. No one wants to cry in your first, second minute, third minute. You want them to cry towards the end. Let the round of applause comes with the tears in the eyes. That's the, like, this is what makes Muhammad Qahtani with, by the way, he admitted himself. He did so many grammatical errors. He was stuttering in the speech. He was not that perfect international speech as compared to all the champions around him. And he was in the heart of United States. But he managed to make the audience laugh, 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 and then cry with the tears in their eyes. So that's absolutely perfect. You can watch that speech, Shenta, and see a lot of examples how Muhammad Qahtani did it perfectly well.
Okay.
Any more? Please carry on. Thank you so much. Back to our Toastmaster of the day. If we run out of time, remember, your president talked too much at the beginning and he would definitely talk too much at the end. Don't blame it on me. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. He was bold, he was beautiful, and never runs out of gas, because he's our Vin Diesel. Thank you so much.